the invention of the first movie camera in 1880, movies have become a major part of global culture. People have used movies as a form of entertainment, a place for that first date, and a way to escape into a fictional world. Movies have occupied an important social space in our American culture. Along with color and sound being added to films, one of the most important changes to movies was when 3D technology was used to provide viewers with a more interactive and real viewing experience. 3D films have been around since the early 1900s, but became widely popular and available for widespread viewing around the late 1900s. The use of 3D technology has grown dramatically and has culminated up to the current 3D technology, which is the Fusion camera system. In 2009, the film Avatar, directed by James Cameron, was shot and produced using the Fusion camera system. This system is the most advanced 3D technology in our modern world, and a form of technology that is far more complex than most movie viewers understand. Even though 3D movies have been around for decades, most people do not understand what actually makes a movie 3D. We interviewed everyday moviegoers, and these are just some of their varying ideas of how this technology works.
I think 3D movies work by taking two cameras and they film the same thing at once from different angles, and then they project that image onto the screen, which is why you have to wear the glasses.
I think when you wear the glasses for a 3D movie, it delays one of your eyes, and when it's catching up with the other eyes, what makes it look 3D, but I really have no idea.
I think this is based on old technology where you had the blue lens and the red lens, and it gave you like different pictures based on what was actually up there, and if you watch it without the glasses, it looks blurry because there's overlap, but I'm not entirely sure.
Work is like the old 3D glasses, which were red and blue on either side, and you would look through those and they would kind of bring the image together. And
Do you know how 3D movies work?
Like there's this part where Patrick was a robot and like he had danger things that would pop at you.
Did Andy say I knew how this stuff works?
Yes.
Hopefully not. I have no idea, so I really just can't answer that.
It reflects from the light and it doesn't go 3D because they add special glasses to make it 3D.
The 3D glasses project the lighting out to help focus the eye. I don't really know.
I'd assume that the glasses actually catch the light at different depths so that when you're perceiving it through the glasses, you actually see things within different levels.
An easier way of explaining how this complex technology works is to look at the beginning of 3D technology, starting in 1848. All three-dimensional imaging originates from the stereoscope invented by Sir Charles Wheatstone in 1838. The stereoscope uses two identical drawings divided into two offset images placed on mirrors angled at 45 degrees to the user's eye. The specific angles permit each eye to only see the image intended for it. The left and right eyes perceive the image differently, in turn, making the right and left halves of the brain do the same, resulting in the two-dimensional images to be meshed together in the brain, forming the perception of three-dimensional depth. Wheatstone's stereoscope was invented before a practical photographic process became available, so only stereoscopic drawings were viewed. It also was big and not easily portable, which is why it was not adopted for widespread use. In 1849, using Sir Charles Wheatstone's stereoscope as an inspiration, Sir David Brewster developed his own version called the lenticular stereoscope. Unlike Wheatstone, instead of using mirrors, he used lenses, making it possible for the stereoscope to be portable. The lenticular stereoscope functioned almost identically to Wheatstone's original stereoscope. According to Sports Illustrated journalist Tim Crothers, two photos of an object were taken from points approximately 2.5 inches apart, or about the distance between a human's pupils. The two photos were then positioned side by side on a card and viewed with a stereoscope whose lenses directed each eye to its corresponding photo, which caused the brain to perceive the two photos as a single image with depth. Between 1834 and 1895, the moving motion picture was being developed and perfected. This took place through a series of inventions and different technologies that built off of one another. British inventor William Friese-Greene, who is credited with developing the moving motion picture, was working on a 2-lens camera that could produce stereoscopic photographs in a sequential order. Greene's attempt at 3D filmmaking was not a big success. He was able to produce the 3D films successfully, but the only way to view them was with the help of a stereoscopic viewer. The film would be shown using 2 separate projectors, screening at the same time. This would create a double image which could be converged using stereoscopic viewers. These viewers were expensive to install and bulky, which is why it was not widely adopted. In 1853, Wilhelm Rollmann invented anaglyphic filtering. Before 1970, these anaglyphic glasses had 1 red lens and 1 green lens, each designated for a different eye to peer out of. Using the glasses, you would view an anaglyph image or movie. An anaglyph image is a combination of 2 pictures taken of an object at slightly different angles. The picture is then tinted either red or blue and overlapped one on top of the other, forming a single picture. The glasses then function to make the picture 3D by only allowing the eye behind the blue lens to view the red image and vice versa. When your brain processes the 2 different colored images, they get blended together, making the image have the perception of being 3D. High costs of 3D filmmaking and the Great Depression prevented studios from genuinely adopting 3D until the 1950s, which many view as the first golden age of 3D filmmaking. During this time, more consumers and theater owners were amenable to the 3D technologies. Experimentation continued for several decades until the early 2000s when James Cameron and Vince Pace created the Fusion camera system. James Cameron wrote and finished his script for the movie Avatar, but refused to start production until he felt 3D technology had come far enough to relay his visionary story without having all the cheesy gimmicks. The project was so ambitious that it took more than 10 years before Cameron felt the technology was sufficient enough. But still, he felt no camera on the market was of good enough quality to produce the type of film he envisioned.
I started writing the film in '95, and it had all the characters in it and creatures and settings, but at the time, it turned out that it wasn't possible to do what I wanted to do.
Cameron and Pace realized that using 1 camera system instead of 2 would make the filming and editing process much easier. The most important piece of technology was a system within the camera called a camnet. This is a system that incorporates all different parts of the 3D movies into one process, such as voice recordings, visual movement, and a playback option. Because the 2 cameras are within one system, they are able to shoot closer together, making the viewing process easier because the images are in relative proximity to the space between your eyes. Fusion camera system process allows for a better depth perception than any other 3D technology. Viewers watching films using the Fusion camera system must wear a version of 3D glasses known as RealD glasses, which are lightly tinted gray lenses. Each lens has a different polarization that grabs a part of the picture. The glasses take the image and circulate the polarized picture production, which creates a more realistic and 3D image. They are an improvement from the anaglyph glasses because viewers can turn their heads and see images more naturally than using the original 3D glasses, which were only best used when looking straight ahead. Although the Fusion camera system is relatively new, its impacts in the world of film are already recognizable. Many worldwide sporting events have been recorded with the Fusion camera system, which is gradually becoming the standard for high-resolution 3D in both the film world and the world of sports. While this system arrived at a time in Hollywood where 3D films were being slowly revived, the takeoff of the 3D film industry can be attributed to the success of Avatar and the Fusion camera system. In years to come, the Fusion camera system could revolutionize the film industry, causing people to be more inclined to choose 3D movies over 2D. Recently, 3D technology has occupied an important role in filmmaking, and in the future their technology will become more popular. The invention of the Fusion camera system has provided the most up-to-date and powerful 3D viewing system, but the future of 3D is yet to be determined. Will 3D technology be a 20th century fad, or a part of the movie process that continues for decades to come?